What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to my channel and page where we discuss basketball narratives that need to be addressed. So if you want to stay updated on the latest basketball talks, just subscribe. Now without further delay, let's get into it. There's been a growing trend of people introducing the concept of scoring gravity into the conversation as a quality of playmaking in basketball. However, it's important to clearly define what playmaking truly is so that players who are merely decent ball handlers and great shot creators aren't mistaken as elite playmakers. Scoring gravity is the attention you attract from defenses based on your skill set, ability, and overall production. This mainly applies to star players who excel in shot creating and scoring. Now, the reason people have given me as to why scoring gravity is applied to playmaking is due to the fact that defenses can collapse based on a multitude of scoring opportunities. Let's take a player like Giannis, for instance. His scoring gravity is huge because of his rim pressure, which is the ability to get to the cup. Since he is so elite at that aspect of the game, defenses would prefer to double team rather than simply allow him to get to the cup. This creates an advantage for his teammates. So when I heard this definition, I said, oh yeah, this is perfect. I never thought of this as playmaking before. But then the definition got blown out of proportion, and they factored this more than every other quality of playmaking, and it took an average playmaker to an elite playmaker, and you'll see why later on in the video. So now on to what it means to be a true playmaker. The definition of a true playmaker has always been defined as a floor general, someone who controls the pace of the game, understands situational basketball, and has a high basketball IQ. These players recognize mismatches, exploit them, and essentially act as the on-court coach, initiating the offensive sets and making decisions that elevate the entire team and not just self. Classic examples of these archetypes include Chauncey Billups, Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron James, and etc. to the players of those statures and likeness. However, in recent debates and conversations, the introduction of the term is scoring gravity, and that has muddied the entire waters of what a playmaker is and what we traditionally known it as. Now, with this new term, scoring gravity, players who are simply just elite scorers and shot creators are now being grouped in with the likes of elite playmakers while only having above average or average playmaking qualities. I've heard claims that players like Donovan Mitchell, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and even the most blasphemous of them all, Shaq. Yes, Shaq is now considered a great playmaker. Most of the players listed are making top 10 players of all time lists before a guy like Rajon Rondo, who was a pass-first point guard who lived for the moment in the playoffs. But scoring gravity alone does not simply make that true. Scoring gravity is simply a byproduct of being a dominant scorer. It cannot be the foundation of a game plan, and you damn sure better not be trying to draw that up in the playbook. Now, I do understand scoring gravity, but I think that's in the shot creator category. The argument that scoring gravity creates double teams and defensive collapses, leading to teammates getting open for shots, is so valid. Guys like Stephen Curry's gravity is great for his team and the system that they run. Because of Curry's willingness to play out the ball, guys like Draymond, Harrison Barnes, Klay, and Iguodala all benefited from playing alongside Steph, which allowed them to pioneer the small ball movement and eventually elevate it to an all-time great lineup with the addition of Kevin Durant. Curry's off-ball movement was great for the team, so yes, two things can be true. However, Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and also he's one of the greatest off-ball movers of all time, combined with the fact that Curry is also an elite ball handler and takes very good care of the basketball. However, the majority of the additional names outside of Steph are not adding those same values to their teams. Guys just want to put their favorite shot creators and bucket getters in this conversation. I understand what it's like to have a favorite basketball player. I really do. James Harden is one of my favorite players alongside Rajon Rondo. But this isn't the conversation to be had where we're throwing in guys who are just great shot makers. The argument that scoring gravity creates double teams and defensive collapses, leading to shots for teammates, is valid. I understand that part of the game, but what I don't want to do is start saying that guys are elite playmakers and all-time great playmakers for passing out of double teams. Passing out of a double team is not a premeditated playmaking ability. True playmaking involves anticipating the defense, reading the game, and setting up teammates in ways that scoring gravity alone cannot achieve. Therefore, when we're talking about Shaq being in the conversation, knowing him, it wasn't premeditated. He had a mindset to score the basketball, not to get into the post and look for a way to pass it to his teammate. Therefore, players who are high volume scorers like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan being on this list makes absolutely zero sense. They're great scorers who had an above average passing game. That's it. The problem, even with Shaq being on the list, is that even though Shaq's scoring gravity was immense, triple teams and throwing the kitchen sink at him wasn't enough to stop the diesel. But he wasn't a better post playmaker than Nikola Jokic, or even the likes of Tim Duncan. These players, combined with their scoring ability and willingness to pass the ball to find open teammates and making the correct reads, allows the offensive playbook to be opened up and allows for more effective team motions as a whole. Now, before people in the comments say, Zebo, all you care about is assists and passing and facilitating. While those factors absolutely matter more to me than scoring gravity, that's not simply true. John Stockton is a great passer of the basketball, but I don't have him in my top 5 of all time as a playmaker. It's crucial to understand that great playmakers don't necessarily need to have high assist numbers. That's another misconception, is that high assist numbers automatically equate to great playmaking. I call this category high usage playmakers. Take Russell Westbrook as an example. Now, I love Russell Westbrook the player, but he's not in the category of an all-time great playmaker. Guys like Magic Johnson and Chris Paul have shown why they're great playmakers, and Russell Westbrook doesn't. And when I say that, people always run to 2017, his MVP season, and I still say he's not a great playmaker. He's often reckless with the basketball, misses crucial reads, and has a high assist-to-turnover ratio that reflects his carelessness. Westbrook fans try to tell me, oh, look at his 2017 stats, look who he played with. His second best player was Oladipo. But he's a lacking floor general. He played with some of the greatest NBA players of his era. Majority of them are in their primes besides Carmelo. Yet he hasn't taken on the role of pacing the game or protecting the basketball. That's why I have guys like Chauncey Billups over him, just due to the fact that he's a great floor general, paces the game, and protects the basketball. That's why a guy like Allen Iverson couldn't achieve what he did with Melo like Chauncey Billups did. Now, going back to Russell Westbrook, his assist numbers look great on paper, but when you look at his turnovers, it's a different story. Even when we go back to his tenure with the Thunder, the reason why Kevin Durant left, to me, is because of his tendency to ignore Kevin Durant during key moments, and even just outright looking him in the eyes and saying, look, this is my time to shine. Another player that I think will be an all-time great that falls into this category is Luka Doncic. While he's an outstanding scorer and he can rack up assists, his playmaking doesn't reach the levels of those traditional floor generals who constantly make the right decisions to elevate their teams. I know what you're going to say. He was first in points and second in assists. Luka averaged 10 assists. Luka also averaged 10 3-point attempts per game and shot 32% from the 3-point range in the playoffs. So you're telling me that in the course of a basketball game, 10 times Luka Doncic thought that a step back 3 was the best decision for his team when he's only a 32% shooter from the 3. As the leader of the team in the playoffs, did you see Luka as the head of the offense make any adjustments to his game or make the game easier for his teammates when the Celtics took the lob threat away? No, you didn't. Where was his high IQ that we praise him for in the pivotal moments? So for me, I'm not impressed when a guy dribbles out the clock and passes to a teammate and just says, here, get the rock, do what you want to do with it, because I don't have anything else to offer. So no, I don't put him in that category. So this is my final thoughts, y'all. While scoring gravity is an important aspect of a player's offensive game, we shouldn't redefine it just based on adding that quality to being a playmaker. So true playmaking is about much more than just drawing defensive attention. It's about controlling the game, making smart, premeditated decisions, and creating opportunities for teammates in ways that go way beyond just scoring. By understanding these distinctions, we can better appreciate the unique skill set of the elite playmaker and avoid conflicting them with high usage scorers who simply benefit from their ability to draw defenders. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's build a community of guys who love to talk about basketball in all its forms and the aspects of it that we don't know. I love talking about narratives of basketball that I don't find true or underrated narratives. So hit a like and thank you.